Okay, hi, welcome to my rant again. My name is Kazim, and this is episode 2 of starting a company. I was having a startup, whatever. I would figure out the name for that in the title of the episode. So episode 1, I discussed with David on how we started up the business, how we went about branding. Sorry, not branding, actually. How we had the ideas and how we never went ahead with any of them. Episode 2, I want to talk about branding and naming of the company, but before we even do that, I think we should first touch on something, David. The fact that maybe we'll even leave that, but I was going to say we should talk about the legal aspect of things.
Yeah. So, I mean, I used to say this, that if you don't know, so like we have a friend called Michael. I have a friend called Michael, and Michael is a lawyer. And it was on through the weekend, and he was saying a whole lot of legal stuff, and I'm like, I understand you. I really don't understand it, because while we're starting the company, we had a lot of advice from legal people. How our shares should be shared.
Yeah, like the percentage each person should have, like who the director should be.
Like everything must be detailed. And I'm like,
bro, like life is not this can't get hard. Like I feel, for me, right, I feel that whole legal process probably reduced my tempo for the company. Because it's like, we want to do this, but we have to first consult. Like the document has to be ready. We have to follow up with the lawyer. We have to
remember when we had that gig, and we had 3 weeks of legal back and forth.
Oh yeah. Like I remember. So it was like we wanted to get a contract from, like we got a contract from a client, right? And they needed us to build some softwares, right? But they sent over the contract for us to sign, and I went over the contract. And that's the thing about me, is that I have a lot of friends that are lawyers, and that in summary means that I tend to use them a lot. Like I tend to ask for legal advice from them, just to be able to show off like I don't make mistakes. Because I don't know if anyone has watched Silicon Valley, or you have watched a lot of shows that show starting up a business, or just going to sign a document from an employer and you lose your idea and you can't do stuff. Like I'm always very cautious whenever it becomes like to put pen to paper, right? So I got the document and I sent it over to a friend. I was like, oh dude, please help look over this. What should I be careful about? And lawyer was like, okay, yeah, like this now has like 99 years. I'm like, 99 years, wow.
If I read that document, to me it was perfect. I didn't see any issues with it.
But like when he pointed out some things, I'm like, dude, I had to go back to that. I was like, please, can you guys adjust? In fact, even with that legal thing, like 99 was like a lot to actually sign on a document. But I think eventually we found like a balance, like a lot of explanation. In fact, till now I didn't understand the explanation.
I mean, these are the issues.
Like it's now I don't understand the explanation. What have one explanation of course? Like the lawyer was later, like my lawyer also said like we should go ahead with it. But like I feel these are one of the few things that we had, like were legal obstructions, not like it's necessary obstructions, but like they were shot there, like, and they were causing pain in my ass at that point. And I always think about it this way: it's like, imagine how many businesses could not go on just because of these things. This, should I say, there are bumps on the way. In the sense, like, think about it, that we wanted to register our business. So I think the first question we asked someone was like, okay, should we just do a business name, or we should incorporate the business? And everybody was like, yeah, we should go ahead to incorporate the business. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah,
like it was so simple.
Like when we're saying like
Intel app.
Yeah, like just fill a document, that was it.
We had to submit every of our live details.
It's not live details, that's
like, I mean, apparently.
But like everybody should have to sign doc. Like I'm like can't in my head. I always think about something now. I still about that thing yesterday. So I've been trying to like apply for a lot of things, right? And I always think that why can't we have a system where I just input my NIN somewhere and it picks out all my details that I've ever filled everywhere and inserts it in a form? Like, I'm serious, because it's like do you know how many forms? Oh, interesting. I use Microsoft Edge browser, right? And it does something that is so like I love so much. I don't know if Chrome does it now, but anytime I fill a form, if I go to want to create a form again, it already has my pre-filled details there. So
yeah, Google does it.
I don't know, but like, like that alone saves me like that mental stress of me always having to type Kazim Abolaji Quadri, blah blah blah, born this phone number is. You mean like I'm like bro, because I should think like, don't these people like I also build software, right? And even me just creating those forms it's a pain in my ass. Don't talk about someone filling it and having to fill similar forms over and over again. Do you get that kind of thing? Like I'm always like, can't we just have like, because it's still me. Nothing has changed. That's still me. Like I used to think about like that, but like that's one of the things we faced when it comes to. But yeah, I'm even trying to think. Was there any other major thing we had like done like legally?
But I mean, just to put this out there, I think it's also, this journey has also been very, very educative and a learning process for us, because in as much as it's hard or it was hard or we did not want to, I mean, left to us, we'll have skipped it. It is very, very necessary, because if you're out there and you're thinking of starting your company, your startup, these legal issues, they are very, very important.
You should even think about them first. Like, so I feel you think about them first before you even think about the business, or especially if you have like partners, it's important. Because I remember we had a conversation with a lawyer. That was probably like one of the most interesting conversations I've had.
She was so
and so detailed, and she explained like things that we didn't even like consider in the initial state of things. And I actually remember like, because sometimes back to Silicon Valley, right? I don't have you watched it? Okay, so I remember when what's it called? The guy wanted to start his business, and the first issue he had was the fact that he wrote some like 2 lines. I mean, he fixed a bug in his initial company, and that was grounds for him to lose his own company. And that was like the first thing. Then I remember when they were starting at the company, and someone wanted to he gave a friend a certain stake or something. Like all these things started playing in my head while we were starting the company. I was like, I don't want us to say 5 years down the line start having to fight over
become enemies.
Because of
we started
and we started these things out of love in the first instance. Like we wanted to like build something, and we're all like friends, and well, I was the link between everybody, but I was like we're all friends, and it would have been easier to just have these things all done. But I think what I'm just trying to drive out from this episode is like, and so far like from previous episodes, that one, when you want to start something, just start. Like that's what I'm actually doing. Me saying that, like I'm preaching, I'm doing what I'm preaching, which is just start. Which is because the more you wait, I'm not guaranteeing that what you start will be successful. That's the beauty of it. It probably won't, but you would learn. And it's only going to be unsuccessful if you do not learn from that experience. That's the best way. So it's just like how I somewhat define mistakes as, or when people make mistakes, is that if you make a mistake and you don't learn from that mistake, and you don't like take a recourse from that mistake, then it's a natural mistake. But if it's not, then it's a lesson instead of a mistake. That you can always see it from that aspect. So like I think that's the major highlight for the legal part of. Or is there something?
As Kazima said, I would say when you want to start something, don't just start right. Right? So start it right way.
Better put.
Yeah. Like so, because I mean, come to think about it, Kazim, subconsciously we actually know the right things to do.
Yeah, it was over the years, like we have actually like learned and seen other people like and we picked it up
a
that way.
Pool of
contacts and people that reach out to,
and we are starting right. That's something.
At this point, I'm even still questioning. Are we starting right? Because there are some things we didn't do. Like we did things we didn't even do. That
the thing is, we've not even officially launched the organization, like the company.
Yeah, probably by the time we are listening to the episode, the company will have launched.
Like by May, I mean, we're inviting for our opening party. But I mean, I'm looking ahead to like a very beautiful company.
Yeah, same here.
And I I think the next thing we should talk about is we're talking about something.
Yeah, we're going to talk about branding. We promised that was going to be like episode 2, but at this point it's going to be episode 3. Well, yeah, like the reason why I'm always pushing branding, because I feel like we went through a lot just for the branding part. Like we went through a lot, but
I mean, and it's all Kazim's fault because
sorry.
Kazim,
Let's pause there. Sorry, we'll get back to this episode. Listen, going forward to how they put it. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe. Look forward to episode 3. We'll discuss better on branding. Yeah, thank you.